Well, hello and welcome, everybody. I've had a really busy day today, which is really quite, yeah. I was nearly going to pull out again. Yeah, I really have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. Yeah, thanks, Don Fox. Yeah, I might change the title after. It just means that I've planned nothing, and I really, don't know what to talk about. But I did promise some stuff from Pauline Hanson, so we will definitely have that. So we've got to just pull that up. So yes, we will have some Pauline. So how is everybody? Yeah, I left home at 8:00 this morning, and I got home about 3:30, and then realised I hadn't eaten lunch, so I had lunch at 3:00, which wasn't probably the best. So what I've done is I've done this first half hour. I've done it for subscribers only. My subscriber count's gone backwards, so I thought the easiest way to find out if anyone subscribes or not is to make it subscribers only for half an hour, and then that way people can subscribe. So as soon as they subscribe, they can join in chat. So it's pretty easy. All they're going to do is hit the subscribe button. And to movies and watch Fast and Furious 9. Before that, we had dinner, and it's cool. I'm getting annoyed with YouTube. Need to remind me that this is public. Yeah, it does get like that. You think it's a bit of community, because my sub count's now 1929, so I'm going backwards. So as I said, so I thought, subscribers only. That way we can. Someone might go, hey, I thought I was subscribed, but I'm not subscribed. So that's really what tonight is about. There's no other on. There is no other ulterior motive than that. So that is everything. So New South Wales has had their lockdown extended until the end of July. Victoria's had 9 cases from there. I think we're going to have. I was reading that media that the media is reporting that there's a meeting going on tonight. That and chat spam from randoms is a pain. Correct, Kellen. That's right. At least half an hour. We can, something YouTube can be a pain when they unsub people. That's right. So, and sometimes you don't realise that you unsubbed. So, it's just a matter of hitting the subscribe button, and you can join in. Because it does give you an option to say how long you want them to be a sub for. And I've just gone anytime. So, anytime you need a friend, I will be here. Oh, New South Wales won't end in July. You're correct. I'm not looking forward to Gladys lockdown myself, actually, which is my fear, that Victoria is going to have a Gladys lockdown. So, hello, Bluebird. How are you? Yeah, so been out all day. I'm having a life of what normal life is like, and I don't like it. Having to get dressed every day has got whiskers on it. It's been the first time in years, first time in over a year that I've actually gone dressed every day. KJ can now see who has the. Well, that is true, but I don't care. I apologise, yes, for people that may do that, but it's only for half an hour, and not everyone's here. All right, so I'm going to start off with Helen Dalton, some of her Twitter, because her Twitter is amazing at the moment. You're going crazy, Diamond Crystal Arts. Yeah, it does get that. What I found from my experience from 4 months is that you have a moment where you're okay with it, then you hit bottom and you hate it, then you sort of resign yourself to the fact of it, and then you're okay again. So you just go in these peaks and waves. You need to go fund to buy Joanne a few what? Oh, onesies. Oh, my PayPal account's listed in my. Oh, no, it's not in my description. It is in my description. But this is Helen Dalton's. This was from a couple of days ago, and I just thought it was quite funny because I like a good laugh. Yes, yes. The Melbourne lockdown is likely. Yeah, yeah. I agree. You had to go. You had to go. Hang on. I had to go into the actual office yesterday. I didn't like it. I couldn't wear my usual. I know, and that's the thing. I don't like it. So this was Helen Dalton. She says, "Happy National De-Sexing Month. This week I castrated my quarter horse, Barnaby Jr. Did sheep and cats too. Advice is to do your animals before they hormonally charged behaviour wreaks havoc. There's a certain workplace in Canberra that may benefit from a similar program." So I'm wondering if she's offering. Is she offering? Yes, I do actually. I will do that. That's a very good idea. It's actually my sister's post office box, and Harrison wants me to remind you it's his birthday next month. He keeps reminding me. His fans. So I just find it very interesting that he just keeps reminding me. So, all right. What I'll do is I'll put it in here and then I'll. So what do you think about Helen's Twitter there? We need a countdown clock for Harrison's birthday. Oh, don't worry. If he's on a stream, he'll remind you. Don't you worry about that. He's already reminded me, and he's already given me his birthday list. But it's he's got expensive tastes, that boy. A newspaper run, yeah. Oh no, he tells everybody he's got his own YouTube channel. He tells his friends he's a YouTuber. Harrison is the countdown clock. Oh, I just like her. I just liked her about the people in I just loved her horse was Barnaby Jr. And that she'd fixed him and then hinted that. So that is my scissor rest. Yes. Yes. Was that expected? The arrest wasn't expected. No, the arrest wasn't expected. I'm just going to pin this up to the top now. Yeah. So anyway, then she says, well, look, I like some of what Lambie does, but I don't like other things of what she does. I think overall, though, she does understand. What I like about Lambie is she understands what it's like to struggle. Okay, so she's got here, by the way, the Murray-Darling Basin Authority was supposed to be formed to protect the environment. He says, this one says, I was the Queensland Economic Liaison Officer for the Murray-Darling Authority back in 2009. I know the shenanigans. I recall being told that I should argue that because Queensland water evaporates before getting too far downstream, that reducing take here wasn't worth it. Wow, hey? Did she tweet, great to see journalists actually coming out to far west New South Wales and talking to the Barkangji people about water policy rather than just interviewing politicians. And MDBA spokesperson's Indigenous life expectancy in the Far West is a national disgrace. Now, there's also a petition calling for a royal commission into it. I think Johnson and Slattery did it. And then there's another one here that says, I was actually shocked to learn the correlation between blue-green algae and the 7-fold rate of motor neuron disease development in some of these communities was not being researched by government. The New South Wales government apparently just doesn't want to know the answers. Hello, Feel the Love. It says, not interested in your opinions on the person, but I do understand the tragedy unfolding in rural Australia and the destruction of our waterways. At least Jordan takes the time to go remote locations and listen. This mini doco is brilliantly researched. So then the newspapers started to pick up on it now, which is good. So it's starting to get some traction, which is good. So someone talked about Groot growing up in the lake because it's not there, there's not much lake anymore. It says, gee, I wonder why the New South Wales government voted against my bill for a public register listing all the state's water owners 3 times. There were a few conflicted personnel in the department, including relatives of big water rights holders. Correct, John Fox. So that's so that's Helen. I think because she's an independent, she's got, she's able to say a lot more than what a lot of the party people do. By the way, I don't know whether you've caught it, but there's been another case in Victoria, a school teacher from Bacchus Marsh. So that's and they're saying, I'm just reading this, the South Australian Police say the Tan and Ben Shell, where the infected removalists went, had 76 credit card donations, 25 QR checking codes, and they've identified more than 118 close contacts. I'm expecting that South Australia will have some cases coming up in the next few days. Well, that's right, a lot of independents. I'm surprised to call her. So. So, yes, I know a lot of them aren't independent. So this is just something else I want to show you. So this is the pedestrian. So I'm just talking about Australian politics a little bit. Then we'll have a bit of chat about what happened today in the Katie Joy world, because I actually have missed a whole lot. So I'm hoping that people can fill me in. I've been trying to catch up, but it's just blowing my mind. And then we will get on to Pauline Hanson, which I promised. And then it'll be nearly time to, as I said, in about 15 minutes, we'll switch off the subscribers only. So here we go. This is a list of every Liberal politician who's somehow caught up in one of the most recent scandals. So we've had a few scandals in Parliament at the moment, and it says, yes, it does discuss R and SA. So I apologise. But just so that you understand, particularly for those of you overseas, why it's been discussed about, apparently, a lot of it's been discussed, it's because of this. All right. So it's important to note that not everyone mentioned in this article has themselves been accused of SA, harassment or misconduct. Rather, this is a list of everyone linked to various allegations. Oh, really? Yes, she did. Yeah. So the first one, remember, was Alan Trudge. So he had a consensual affair with a staffer, and and of course, the staffer bitterly regrets their intimate relationship and accused him of belittling and humiliating her. Also alleged that he would ask her to dinner or drinks after work, and she felt that she couldn't say no because he was her boss at the time. She ended up working for Michaelia Cash. So that was the first one. Then we've got Andrew Laming. This was March 2021. A Brisbane woman accused him of taking a photo of her underwear on his mobile while she was bent over at work in 2019. The photo was really inappropriate, especially when I was bent over. My manager at the time saw him do it and forced Andrew Laming to delete the photo off his phone. When her colleague reminded Laming about the alleged incident on his public Facebook page this year, Laming replied, "I do remember it, but it wasn't meant to be rude. I thought it was funny, but your reaction was awkward." Laming, for his part, has now tried to claim the photo wasn't a case of upskirting. Instead, he said it was supposed to be a humorous picture in a completely dignified position, kneeling in an awkward position, filling a fridge with an impossible amount of stock, which clearly wasn't going to fit in the fridge. News of the photo incident broke off the back of historical bullying accusations made against Laming by two women days earlier. Now, he's not recontesting his seat, but he had to actually take time off work to undergo sensitivity training. So he says, "I will step down from all parliamentary roles immediately and complete both the counselling courses I committed to as well as additional clinical counselling and ask for privacy while it is completed." Right. So, yes. So Andrew Laming was the one that had to take sensitivity training, by the way. Then we've got Christian Porter. He was accused of R in 1998, which he denies. Then it was revealed that a woman last year alleged that a government minister, so that was that one, and she took her own life in 2020. The things that are being claimed to have happened did not happen, he said. Nothing in the allegations that have been printed ever happened. Four Corners had also reported that he had engaged in a consensual affair with a much young staffer who ended up feeling distressed, according to Green Senator Hanson Young. So that's as well. Porter categorically rejected the central claim in the Four Corners program that he'd been kissing a younger woman at a popular Canberra bar, labelling them as fault-basis claims and totally false. So there you go. Eric Abetz, he was accused of slut-shaming Brittany Higgins. In March, Tasmanian MP Sue Hickey alleged that Liberal Senator Eric Abetz, who was minister under the Abbott and Turnbull governments, of slut-shaming Brittany Higgins by saying she was so disgustingly drunk that she would sleep with anybody. Hickey also claimed that Betts dismissed the historic allegations against Christian Porter by saying, "Not to worry, the woman is dead, the law will protect him." Betts categorically denied both of these things and described them as defamatory. To suggest I'd make light of an R allegation is horrendous. Linda Reynolds, accused of poorly handling the Brittany Higgins allegation. So Brittany Higgins was the staffer for the then Defence Industry Minister Lisa Reynolds' office at the time when she was allegedly by a fellow staffer inside Parliament House. A week later, the staffer who allegedly Higgins was sacked over a security breach that night, according to Reynolds. However, Parliament House security guard who let Higgins and her colleague in that night said there was no security breach. On the same day, Higgins told Reynolds what had happened during a meeting held in the exact room where Higgins was allegedly Higgins said she felt unsupported because of the political sensitiveness and told police at the time she wouldn't go ahead with a formal complaint due to current workplace demands. Reynolds has since apologised for how she handled allegations, saying at the time, I truly believe that I and my chief of staff were doing everything we could to support that young woman who I had responsibility for. Fast forward to 2021 when the allegations went public and sent shockwaves across Australia, and Reynolds was busted for calling Higgins a lying cow. Reynolds eventually apologised for the comments. After mass outcry and legal threats, Reynolds retracted the statement and said she did not mean it in the sense it may have been understood. Michael Johnson, allegedly a woman in 2019. He's a New South Wales State MP from the National Party. However, the allegations against him arose at the same time that the Liberal Party was under precedented scrutiny for how its members treated women. In March, State Labor MP Trish Doyle said a sex worker had contacted to her say that Johnson raped her in the Blue Mountains in 2019. Sorry, I do want to say the word. She tells me she made herself clear that she was not willing to with him. However, towards the end, the man moved around behind her, assaulted her in a way that she'd not consented to. So he's since stepped down from his role as New South Wales Parliamentary Secretary and has been suspended from the National Party. So he said he was devastated by the allegations, cooperating with police. He's confident any investigation will concede that he is the innocent party. Michaelia Cash, accused of poorly handling the Brittany Higgins allegations. So after the 2019 federal election, Brittany Higgins moved from working for Linda Reynolds to employment Minister Michaelia Cash, who is now the Attorney General, which scares the living daylights out of me. However, Cash has faced claims that she didn't handle Higgins' allegations well. In February 2021, it was reported that Cash sent voicemails to Higgins in 2019 telling her to sleep tight and that everything was under control. In response to a journalist making inquiries about the alleged incident, Cash also had several meetings with Higgins about an alleged incident shortly after Higgins moved to her office. However, Cash has since clarified that while she did not know of an alleged incident, she had no idea it was an alleged R. So, additionally, another former staffer, Rochelle Miller, has accused Cash of forcing her out with fake redundancy because Miller's consensual affair with her former boss, Alan Trudge. She said that Cash had posted text messages on the office WhatsApp group that I felt were attacking and demeaning towards myself. The minister strenuously denies claims of any adverse treatment of Ms. Miller by her or her office. Miller is now seeking compensation through legal means. Oh, they've added Scott Morrison. Won't take ownership of this unfolding crisis. Prime Minister Scott Morrison hasn't been accused of any wrongdoing, but his handling of the numerous allegations against his ministers has widely been slammed. When the Sky News journalist asked him whether he'd lost control over his cabinet, Morrison deflected by referring to a supposed harassment investigation within News Corp, which owns Sky News, which the company immediately called BS on. Even if there was an investigation going on at News Corp, using a stranger's trauma, hypothetical or otherwise, as a political football, is in shockingly poor taste for anyone, let alone the Prime Minister, grappling with several unrelated SA and misconduct claims. Don't forget that the LNP has a bonk ban. It doesn't seem to be working. Then there's the time when Morrison said he could only appreciate the gravity of Brittany Higgins' allegations after involving his own daughters, as if women don't already have an obvious and unconditional right to be safe. He shouldn't have to consult Jenny to understand that R is bad. Finally, when men and women of Australia marched on Parliament House and in every city around the world, Morrison went off on some stupid tangent about how we should be grateful we weren't shot at or something. Then we've got various Liberal staffers. accused of poorly handling Brittany Higgins' allegations. Aside from the as of yet unnamed staffer, who allegedly are Brittany Higgins, about whom 3 other women have made allegations of SA or harassment, there are several other Liberal Party staffers who've been subject to similar allegations. So when Brittany Higgins first alleged to Linda Reynolds that she had been Reynolds' Chief of Staff, Fiona Brown, was in the room with them. Brown was on secondment from the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison's office, meaning that while Morrison claimed he had no idea about any allegations until they became public news, he's claimed that his own Chief of Staff did know. This has raised more questions about how the alleged incident was handled. Meanwhile, 10 News reported that a bunch of Liberal staffers inside Parliament House had been exposing themselves and sharing evidence amongst themselves. One staffer was eventually sacked after he filmed himself playing with himself on the desk of a Liberal MP, but that at least 3 more men were in the group. On top of that, former Labor MP Kate Ellis has since told Australian Story of sexual harassment she faced becoming an MP at just 27 and becoming Australia's youngest ever minister by 30. I had only been MP for a couple of weeks and we were out for drinks, and this Liberal staffer quite aggressively said, "Kate, the only thing anyone wants to know about you is how many blokes you F in order to get into Parliament." Just the fact he came up and said that to my face when I was elected MP and he was a staff member, that he had the confidence to do that. So there you go. So that's what Pedestrian has done. They've put all the scandals together. Right. So I suppose men with money and women wanting to make it equals chaos. That's true. All right. So what Hanson video do we want to watch? Do we want to watch the Burqa stunt? Do we want to watch the Please Explain clip? The Burqa one? Okay. All right. The Burqa stunt. Okay. All right. So this is Pauline Hanson. She's part of the One Nation Party, or she's the leader of the One Nation Party. Hello, Marmaduke. And she is unique. I'd say she's unique. And squat toilets. All right, I'll see if I can find that one. Okay. I'm just about to turn off subscriber mode, so hopefully you all discovered you were subscribed. Congratulations. You're all subscribed. So now we'll open that up to everybody. All right. Cool. All right. So this is okay, so this says Senator Pauline Hanson pulled off a stunt in the Australian Senate that many are calling outrageous. She wore a burqa in the Senate to bring attention to her campaign to have the wearing of the burqa in public places made illegal in Australia. In the video, Senator Hanson makes her entrance to the cry of, "What on earth?" Senator Hanson sits wearing the burqa until it is time for her to ask her question. At this point, she removes the burqa and continues. And then there's the text from the Hansard. It's 7 minutes. So, all right, here we. And then, so this is the stunt that she pulls, and then the response by Senator George Brandis. And this gives you a bit of an idea. All right. Here we go. Okay. Hi, Spanky. Turns. Hello, Princess Jax. All right. This is Pauline Hanson.
What on earth?
Did you just hear him say, "What on earth"? I'll take it back a bit.
What on earth?
What on earth? What on earth? So she's made her entrance wearing a burqa.
Senators, order. Senators, I've been advised by the clerk via the attendant that the identity of Senator Hanson was established before she entered the chamber. I'm just going to reflect on the mode of dress that Senator Hanson is using, but we'll continue with question time. Senator Duniam, Minister, Senator Hanson.
I'm quite happy to remove this because this is not what should belong in this Parliament. My question is
Point of order, Senator.
Waiting the question.
So, yes, so she walked in Parliament wearing a full burqa, and you're about to get a sense of Pauline Hanson.
Thank you. Senator Hanson, your question.
To Senator Brandis, the Attorney General. Senator Brandis, in light of our national security of this nation, will you work to actually ban the burqa in Australia, considering...
Order. Just a moment, Senator Hanson. I need to hear the question, so can I have some order on my left and my right? Senator Hanson, would you commence your question again, please?
In light of what is happening with national security, there has been 13 foiled national threats against us with terrorism, 3 that have been successful, and Australians have lost their lives. Terrorism is a true threat to our country. Many Australians are very much in fear of it.
Order.
What I would like to ask on behalf of the Australian people, considering there has been a large majority of Australians wish to see the banning of the burqa. Our 2 former Prime Ministers...
Order.
Hello, Robin. How are you? Welcome to Crazy Time. What? All right.
Senator Hanson, the time for asking the question is running through. Order on my left. Senator Dastyari. Senator Dastyari. And Senator McDonald. Attorney General, Senator Brandis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Hanson, no, we will not be banning the burqa. Now, Senator Hanson, I am not going to pretend to ignore the stunt that you have tried to pull today by arriving in the chamber dressed in a burqa when we all know that you are not an adherent of the Islamic faith. And I would caution you and counsel you, Senator Hanson, with respect, to be very, very careful of the offence you may do to the religious sensibilities of other Australians.
Hammer Labor means pick on Labor. So if you hammer somebody, you give them a hard time. So that's what hammer is. So yeah, if I'm going to hammer you, I will give you a hard time, Wind Whispers. That's what hammering is. Probably another one of those Australian, one of those Australian sayings. EC says, I was shocked at Brandis' response to here. I think everybody was.
We have about 500,000 Australians in this country of the Islamic faith, and the vast majority of them are law-abiding, good Australians. And in Senator Hanson, it is absolutely consistent with being a good, law-abiding Australian and being a strict adherent Muslim. Now, Senator Hanson, for the last 4 years, I have had responsibility preeminently among the ministers, subject to the Prime Minister, for national security policy. And I can tell you, Senator Hanson, that it has been the advice of each Director General of Security with whom I have worked, and each Commissioner of the Australian Federal Police with whom I have worked, that it is vital for their intelligence and law enforcement work that they work cooperatively with the Muslim community. And to ridicule that community, to drive it into a corner, to mock its religious garments is an appalling thing to do. And I would ask you to reflect on what you have done.
Order. Order, senators.
Look, you got to see what really fascinates me here. His own party does nothing. The opposition stand up and applaud him. How often does that happen? That a government minister gets a standing ovation from the opposition and their own party does nothing. It's bizarre. It's really, really bizarre. If you actually have a look, everybody's standing. In fact, even Pauline Hanson's standing. But so how often do you see that? There they all are. This is all the opposition here standing. And they're the Greens, that's the Greens party, is all the independents are here. Everyone was shocked by that, yeah. But see, all the opposition is standing, they're all sitting down.
Senators on my left, please resume your seats. Senator Wong, on a point of order.
If I could, my leave, make a very short statement.
Is leave granted?
I think the
Senator
Senate.
Hanson-Young, are you objecting to leave?
I'm not Senator Hanson-Young. Please
Senator
address me.
Hanson, my apologies. Are you objecting to leave being granted?
Yes, I am.
Leave is not granted, Senator Wong.
You've seen her portrayed as a wet job, and her aggressive views about race are terrifying. Her lack of respect for my... Yes, Tracy, that's what she's really portrayed as here as well.
Senator Wong, leave is not being granted. A point of order, Senator Wong.
Point of order. I make
Senator
a point
Hanson, I'll listen
of
to a
order.
point of order first. Point of order, Senator.
Thank you. My point of order is this. If I had the opportunity, I would move to congratulate the Leader of the Government on that statement.
Well,
And I make this point on behalf of all of us on this side of the
there
chamber.
is no
It is
point
one
of
thing to
order,
wear
Senator
religious dress as a sincere act of faith. It is another to wear it
There
as
is
a
no
stunt
point of
here in
order,
the Senate chamber.
Senator Wong. Senator Hanson, are you asking your supplementary question?
My supplementary question is,
Supplementary question.
Now, yeah. And yeah, I'll show you a couple of other ones, but yeah. But she does have fans. People do like her.
Supplementary
is the
question.
Attorney General aware that the burqa is not a religious requirement at all? My question is, will the Attorney General then ban the burqa in this House for in future as a security risk? And also the fact is that the people of Australia have the right to see the face of a person that they elect to this parliament, and they are the person who is actually going to be making decisions in the parliament on their behalf.
Thank you.
She's actually quite angry. She can't spit her words out.
Before I call the Attorney General, it's in the purview of the presiding officers, not the Attorney General, to determine what happens as far as security is concerned within Parliament House. The Speaker and I have made arrangements that anyone who enters this premises with their face covered by whatever means is clearly identified prior to entering the building. And further, the first thing I ascertained when you walked into the building dressed as you, into the chamber dressed as you were, I wanted to ascertain who you were, and that was verified to me. I make no further comment about the dress that you wore. Attorney General, do you have any comment that you wish to make in relation to that matter? Attorney General? No. Thank you. Senator Hanson, a final supplementary question.
I will. If a person who wears a balaclava or a helmet into a bank or any other buildings or even on before the court, they must be removed. Why is it not the same case for someone who is covering up their face and cannot be identified? Will the government make changes to these laws?
Attorney General? No. Thank you, Attorney General. Senator Hume.
Right, so that was that one. Hello. All right, so that's a little bit of Pauline Hanson. So let's find another one. Wasn't there a Pauline Pants Down song? A parody? Oh, really? Someone came to Congress in a gas mask? Wow. Friendly Geordies did a video on her. Let's look at that one. So these are all her videos here. Oh yes, squat toilets. There's one. Let's look at the squat toilets. Pauline's toilet process test.
My fellow Australians, we go now to an important message from Senator-elect Pauline Hanson. And just a trigger warning, this video does feature Senator-elect Pauline Hanson.
It's been brought to my attention that the Australian Taxation Office are going to put in squat toilets because over 20% of their staff is from a non-English speaking background.
That's right, people at the ATO are using squat toilets instead of the traditional Australian toilet, a wall. Catering to people who come from non-English speaking backgrounds has become somewhat of a trend for Australia lately. So much so, one woman was even elected to public office despite not being able to speak English properly.
I can leave my topic of conversation today. It's about squat toilets.
But Ms Hanson is right to defend our toilets from foreign invasion. You see, while other politicians waste their time on petty issues like health and education, Pauline Hanson knows what Australians really care about: how other people go to the toilet. The ATO's decision has struck fear into the bowels of many Australians. One concerned citizen asked Pauline Hanson on Facebook how much this is costing the Australian taxpayer, and she replied, "It's not just a matter of dollars. It starts with toilets and ends with costing us our Australian..."
So a squat toilet is like they've in a lot of the Asian countries where it's just the bowl and you put your foot either side of the bowl. And when I went to Indonesia, I had my first experience of a squat toilet. It was pretty scary, actually, when you're not used to it and you actually have to squat down to go. It's quite scary, but that's a squat toilet.
Way of life. It's true. If this trend continues, we may find ourselves in a country where our sporting heroes no longer feel free to piss in their own mouths.
Oh, I didn't realise it was...
There are some suggestions that squat toilets are actually better for your health. So if you're not outraged about the ATO caving into different cultures, you should certainly be outraged about them caving into health benefits. Squat toilets, of course, are commonplace in many parts of the world, particularly in Asia. But before you say Pauline's got it in for Asians, she says she has no problems with them, and that some One Nation members have Asian wives. Checkmate, Race Discrimination Commissioner. But while Pauline is presumably happily married to an Asian woman, she's not happy about these squatters handling our tax returns.
Because I know what's more confusing, and it's definitely not using the squat toilet, it's doing our tax.
And if that's not bad enough, I understand these people are doing our tax using Arabic numerals. The terrorists have already won.
So that is on her outrage on squat toilets. They're not my choice. I did notice that when I was in Indonesia, they did actually have what I would say Western toilets, and that I chose to use those. All right. Oh, is it? There's another one? All right. I can't see it. Oh, I might have to do squat toilets. All right. Let's have a look. When I was in Myanmar, they had squat toilets. But they also had Western toilets as well. One with the blue jumper. Squatty potties, yeah. Yes. There is, I think you'd rather go to the woods. Yeah. Google squat toilet Pauline. Okay, I'll do that. I'll Google it. Yeah, you can put the link to I Don't Like It in Discord. I'll grab it from there. Now, which one? Oh, which one is it? This one or the Facebook one? This one? Doing my bills and taking care of it. If I don't need lunch, shuffling any. All right. The Facebook. All right. This one. All right. We'll do this one. If police told the truth, we wouldn't need a third of them true. Oops, there's no sound.
You're saying what? Yes. It's been brought to my attention that I can leave my topic of conversation today. It's about squat toilets. You're saying what? Yes. It's been brought to my attention that the Australian Taxation Office are going to put in squat toilets because over 20% of their staff is from a non-English speaking background. Squat toilets? Right, you've got to squat to use them. So anyway, it's totally confusing. If they don't know how to use a toilet here in Australia, and of course they're putting stickers up showing them how to actually use our toilets, so they're saying now, no, we're going to put in squat toilets for them. Well, if they don't know how to use our toilets, regardless of just at the ATO, our parks, convention centres, in the Aussie homes, everywhere else, then what the hell is going on? Because I know what's more confusing, and it's definitely not using a squat toilet, it's doing our tax.
All right.
We decided to officially be poly.
Oh,
Here we were all living
great.
together.
That one's a great one. Don't know why that came up. She does Bellman. It is confusing, isn't it? I'm going to do please explain because that's her famous line. Please explain. It's a test run for the world. Really? Please explain. All right, here we go. This was her first time in politics, I think.
Are you xenophobic? Please explain. The fact is that a lot of them are
There
drug
are 3,000
addicts as
people
well.
calling.
They've actually medication.
Let's have a go. We'll take it back.
Are you xenophobic? Please explain. The fact is that a lot of them are
There
drug
are 3,000
addicts as
people.
well. They've actually medication. They're getting their medication. They're alcoholics, so they're being looked after that way. A lot of these people are from non-English speaking backgrounds. Probably English is their second language. Learn to speak English when you come here to this country. That's a big problem that we have in Australia. I believe we are in danger of being swamped by Asians. They have their own culture and religion, form ghettos, and do not assimilate.
This was her first. I think that's her first. I think that was her first speech in Parliament. So I think this was her speech in Parliament where she talked about being invaded by the Asians.
Now we are in danger of being swamped by Muslims. I think we need to make a very tough stance and put out a clear message. Refugees are not welcome here. I'm quite happy to remove this because this is not what should belong in this Parliament.
We have
Oh dear. Yeah, that was her in the 90s originally.
about 500,000 Australians in this country of the Islamic faith. It is absolutely consistent with being a good, law-abiding Australian and being a strict.
Yes, she has changed from Asians to Muslim. This woman's a complete idiot to me. If she would have a heart attack if she came to visit where I live.
Adherent Muslim, and to ridicule that community, to drive it into a corner, to mock its religious garments is an appalling thing to do, and I would ask you to reflect on what you have done.
And a lot of the gays don't even agree with same-sex marriage either. They don't want to get married. With the inequalities that are being promoted by the government and paid by the taxpayer under the assumption.
Again, this is her 1990 speech. Yeah.
That Aboriginals are the most disadvantaged people in Australia. With you, I'm Indigenous. I was born here. I'm native to the land.
She's Indigenous.
Yes, I am. Do you know the word Indigenous?
Yeah, I
It's
do.
native to the land. I was born here. Where's my, if it's not Australia?
England.
You are a very young person. Now, you quoted your age is 42.
Did you hear that? Where's my... Someone said England. Does she like anyone? I don't know, Laura.
That is still very young. Not so much in age, I'm talking about years, but in knowledge. What I would like to see you do, Pauline, is to be educated.
George Floyd had been made out to be a martyr. It sickened me to see people holding up signs saying Black Lives Matter in memory of this American criminal. I'm sorry, but all lives matter. It is indeed okay to be white. Such a simple sentence should go without saying, but I suspect many members in this place would struggle to say it. If we cannot agree on this, I think it's safe to say any white racism is well and truly rife in our society.
Oh, wow. Said it each.
There was no comeback to that. So she likes disco. She left her heart in San Francisco.
It is a very sad day in Australian politics when members on the floor of Parliament cannot support a notice motion that I moved yesterday stating that it is okay to be white and and I will read it quickly, that the Senate acknowledge the deplorable rise of anti-white racism and attacks on Western civilization. Let me put it in this analogy. We have a disease. We vaccinate ourselves against it. Islam is a disease. We need to vaccinate ourselves against that.
Xenophobia means a fear of all things foreign.
No, I don't think I am. No, I'm not. Is there a problem? Just because I might be... I find this very hard because I have to sort of clarify what I think and how I feel about things.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Well, precisely, because you are a federal politician. We're not just sitting around in a pub talking about things.
So anyway, That's Pauline Hanson. That's her. That's Please Explain. So often people, if someone will ask you a question and you'll say, please explain, and that's a Pauline Hanson joke. So you don't see the issue? Yeah. Well, she just has a point of view that is different to most people. And I guess where she's located, people obviously agree with her because she got voted in. So but I think she got in through the double dissolution, didn't she? Is that how she got in? Yeah, an intro was good. I see her as Trump's partner in crime. I think she liked Trump, didn't she? She was a fan of Trump's. Put her in a room. Yes, it is usually a problem. It was her. Yeah, let me get the let me get that clip. The Please Explain, because that's actually quite funny. All right. I'm not going to do a long stream tonight to everybody because I am tired. But I just, I really like hanging out with you all. So I like talking to you all, and so. Oh, really? Pauline Pantsdown's still around? You don't want to use the squat toilet? No, as I said, I tried one in Indonesia, and it wasn't my best. Wasn't my best experience, I have to say. Right, this is Pauline Pantsdown. It's good. I don't like it. Trump was a fan of her, I think. Okay. All right, here we go. Pauline Pantsdown. I don't like it. This was a comedian that did a send up.
Me now, it means that I don't like when you turn my voice about. I don't like it. When you vote One Nation out, my language has been murdered. My language has been murdered. My shopping trolley murdered. My groceries just gone. I don't like it. When you turn my voice about, I don't like it. When you vote One Nation out, my language has been murdered. My language has been murdered. My shopping trolley murdered. My groceries just gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, racist, rubbish, racist, hate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, racist, rubbish, racist, feel the heat. I don't like it when railway lines are white. I don't like it when day becomes night. My language has been murdered. My language has been murdered. My shopping trolley murdered. My groceries just gone. I don't like it. No, I don't.
Oh, thank you, NBN. Come on. You can do it.
Never did. I don't like it. I don't like anything. I don't like it. No, I don't. Nowhere near. I don't like it. I don't like anything. Please explain. Why can't my blood be coloured white? I should talk to some medical doctors. Coloured blood is just not right. I don't like anything. I can't do anything about it. But I like dancing. I like the disco because I left my heart in San Francisco. Yeah. Feel the heat on the street. Dance to the beat. Got your feet. Feel the heat on the street. Dance to the beat. Got your feet. Get down, down, down. I don't like anything except I like Neil Diamond. Yes. Dance. Nation. Chance. Dance. Out of my tree, out of my branch. I don't like it. No, I don't. Never did. I don't like it. I don't like anything. I don't like it. No, I don't. I don't care. I don't like it. I don't like anything. I don't like a puppet without strings. There's a muppet in the wings, and it's saying racist things. I won't cop that. No way. I don't like anything. Video killed the racist star. Howard wondered what you are. But here's on the scrap heap too. A downer. I don't like anything. I can't do anything about it. I like dancing. No, I like the disco. Because I left my heart in San Francisco. Then feel the heat on the street. Dance to the beat out of your feet. Feel the heat on the street. Dance to the beat out of your feet. I don't like it. No, I don't. Never did. I don't like it. I don't like anything. I don't like it. No, I don't. I don't care. I don't like it. I don't like anything. No, the whole thing is wrong, and it stinks, and I don't like it.
Actually, it's funny that finishes in the toilet. Like considering considering that she then went on to have the squat toilet debate. So that was was that 1988? Oh, it came out in the 90s, I think. We'd all get along knowing they would. Yeah. Anyway, so that's I don't like it. Because that was her other... So she was famous for Please Explain and I Don't Like It. But she's still in Parliament now. So whether she gets in for another term or not, I don't know. Oh, wow. Hanson did go to jail, I think, yeah. And by the way, Queensland beat New South Wales in the rugby too. By the way. Just so that for you people that are watching. So anyway, the thing that really bothers me about, I think the next federal election will be interesting. I don't know if I can round up the money that I need to put my name down. No, I'm in a safe Labor seat. I don't know. I reckon I'd have to. Oh, maybe I should go up against Frydenberg in Kooyong. There's a great song based on, oh, really? Congresswoman who says, reclaiming my time. You don't see the issues with the toilets, you see the issue with her. Yeah, a lot of people have issues with the toilets. It was released in the 90s, from what I can remember, Short Order Cook. No, I haven't talked about COVID in the Olympic Village. There's been COVID Japan's in a state of emergency at the moment, which I find to be very, very bizarre. But yes, there is COVID in the Olympics. I think I said Australia was assuming that there was COVID, so everything that they did, you'd vote for me. I think I'd have more chance in the Senate than I would in the. I think I'd have more votes in the Senate. I'd have more chance in the Senate than the other thing. Oh, is she going? First Lady's supposed to be going to the. So is the Queensland. So is the Queensland Premier, apparently. So the Australian team are just assuming just have taken the assumption that there's COVID, so they're not allowed to eat in the restaurant. They got to wear masks all the time. They have to. They're not allowed to mingle with people. So this was posted Saturday. Jofa PM. That was cheap glass. That was the problem that I had with the squat toilet that I used in Indonesia. It was very hard. I would run your political strategy for taking over an American Congress spot. Well, I'm not an American citizen to start off with, Will. So, so athletes from all around the world are arriving in Tokyo, even if cases rise in the city and fans are banned from the games. Those athletes can only enter the village 5 days before their event and must leave no more than 2 days after. 84% of the Olympic delegations will be vaccinated. Now, this is interesting because the people that did test positive to COVID actually were vaccinated. So they're averaging 600 cases, more than 600 cases a day. So there's no crowd. Can still be the Speaker of the House in America. Can I? So they've got the head of biosecurity program at Kirby Institute calls the village a petri dish of variants. So they reckon that it's a potential super spreader event at the games. The village itself is really controlled quite closely. The teams are kept in bubbles and kept apart from each other. So there's a lot of strict measures in the village. So athletes are only allowed to arrive. So they're only allowed to arrive for 5 days. The Australians will be leaving 1 day after their last event. The only office I wouldn't be eligible for as a naturalised citizen is VP. Oh, really? I just can't be president. I couldn't go over there and be president. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? So what isn't known is just which athletes making up the remaining 16% who have refused to get vaccinated. So the United States, for instance, will have the largest team at the Olympics, and while all athletes have the option for vaccination, not everyone has taken it up. It's the same with the Australian team of 484 athletes. The Australian Olympic Committee says 98% of the athletes will be fully vaccinated, which equates to 10 deciding not to get the jab. Well, you know what? I would have said to those 10, I'm sorry, you can't go to the Olympics. I'm very harsh. I'm really sorry. It's like the guy that got caught it's like the millionaire that got caught travelling from New South Wales to Queensland in his yacht with 6 other people. They all got fined $4,000 each. A millionaire getting fined $4,000. It's just small change. Make it hurt. Fine them $4 million each, and then they won't do it again. Yep. At the village, athletes are discouraged from congregating in places like the food hall. Instead, they'll be encouraged to pick up their food and eat outside or in their rooms. The Australians won't be using the village gym, so they'll build their own and make sure everyone who uses it is wearing masks. The bad news is that despite all the checks in place, the virus can and potentially will spread in the village, which was designed before COVID-19. Professor McIntyre is concerned about the potential for airborne spread of the virus in the village despite precautions in place. So what worst case scenario for Olympic organisers and athletes, a positive test means that not only will that athlete be out of the games, but their close contacts will also have to stop competing. That could potentially shut doors on an entire sport, particularly the high contact sports, which is what happened to some tennis players who couldn't train at this year's Australian Open. If they're on a plane with someone who was positive, even if no one else on the plane contracted the virus, it was disruptive to their preparation. So I think that's the reality of trying to run these events in COVID time. So that's the COVID clinic. Oh, really? Oh, fine based on wages. I think that's a really good idea, John Fox. If you can afford, as I said, what's $4,000 to a millionaire? Loose change. So, yeah. Because there's been a bit of an outcry out of it. Saying, well, hang on a minute. It was actually reported in New Zealand. I'm going to pull it up from New Zealand because New Zealand reported it. So this is from New Zealand. COVID-19 coronavirus Australian millionaire fined after allegedly fleeing New South Wales on super yacht. An Australian millionaire and his crew have been fined more than 17,146 or 16,000 Australian by police after he used his super yacht to escape the Gold Coast from the COVID-hit Sydney. Jeremy Young, the founder and director of video tech company Atomus, was caught just days after he docked his 34-metre, $4 million super yacht Dreamtime at Southport Marina last week. Maritime Safety Queensland manager Angus Mitchell said Young, his personal assistant, the skipper and engineer, had provided false and misleading information on their declaration cards to access the Gold Coast Marina on July 7. The message is clear. If you've been in a COVID-19 hotspot and you cross our maritime border, you'll be intercepted and face the consequences, he said in a statement. The Chief Health Officer declared Greater Sydney area a COVID-19 hotspot backdated to 21 of June as the COVID-19 situation continued to escalate. While the situation exists, MSQ will rigorously challenge any vessels planning to enter Queensland waters. All four were fined $4,003. See, we've got the $3, $4,003, and put into hotel quarantine for the next 2 weeks after Queensland Health alerted the authorities. Now, I also think that those 4 people should be given the quarantine bill, in my opinion. So there we go. So this was from the New Zealand Herald. So this is him. So with Branson or Bezos? Oh, I don't know. I really don't know, actually. Tax on fines $3. Oh yes, yeah, I think they should have to pay their quarantine bill. That's my thing. In fact, he can pay the quarantine bill of everybody in hotel quarantine. There's something else I wanted to show you. I'd go to space. Oh, you go to space with me, Joe? Will? Whoopsies. Do you? You have to pay? All right, I wanted to show you something because I wanted to show you something. And I was in Aldi today, and I like Aldi. They have, where is it? Yeah. They don't have it here. Hello, Alberta, how are you? I love that $3. Well, yes, as I said, I don't know what that's for. No, that's not going to work. There is a coffee at Aldi for their pod machines. No, he's English. And they have their number 12 coffee pod is called Brazino or something, Braz. It starts with Braz. And I thought, wow. Yes. Oh, where are we? A Brazo. That's it. It's called a Brazo. It's a Braz. I called it a Braz. Here we go. In memory of Braz. My computer's really slow. While you ponder that, I'll be back. Yeah, it was like, I'm having Braz. John's getting off track. All right. Oh, it can be a Braz stream, yeah. I need to, but I don't have an Aldi machine anymore. But, yeah. I just went a Braz stream. His attention is too well. So yeah, it's funny. All right. But anyways. Oh, I've got 3 dislikes today. Who's disliked me? Wow, people don't like me. Maybe they weren't subscribers and they weren't happy. Isn't Aldi the store with the caterpillar cake? I don't think so. Or not mine. 3 dislikes. Oh no. Oh, all the train puns. Braz Puppuccino. Here, Aldi's a grocery store. You bring so you have to bag your own groceries, but you can either take your own bags or you can pay for a bag. Yeah. So obviously it's the same thing because it's probably the same concept. Yeah. And you ring up your own groceries? No, we have people that do them. We have people that ring them up, but we've got to pack our own bags. Who are the 3 people that disliked me? Oh, dear me. Oh, I did. Well, maybe there were people that came for KJ, and I forgot to speak about it because I did say I was going to find out what she got up to, but I forgot to talk about her. We started talking about Pauline Hanson instead, and other stuff. But yeah, there's 3 now. There's 30 likes and 3 dislikes. So yeah, not happy, but anyway, doesn't matter. Maybe there were people that wanted to talk but couldn't because they weren't subscribed. Well, I think some of the drops in subs have because I've changed my content, and that's fine. I understand that. But it's fine. To be honest, look, it could be some of her trolls. That's fine. Oh, that's fine as well. They're allowed to do that. Concentrate on the likes. Yeah. Oh, 31 likes. Cool. Yeah. Look, it's fine. So just so again, I made it a sub only for the first half hour, just so that every channel cannot be KJ, just KJ rather. I agree. You just can't have KJ content. And let's face it, she does the same thing all the time. So I could just really rehash an old stream, really. I could just rehash an old stream and we'd be fine. Same things come up. I know, I have heard that she's been striking channels. And that's fine. She's allowed to. I don't think it's going to do her any good, though. I think it's a waste of time. I've seen some of the stuff on Twitter, but I haven't seen a lot. As I said, I was really busy today, and I got home and I actually had a sleep. So I haven't seen. No, I have a list of stuff I need. I really need Victoria to go into lockdown so I can catch up with all my YouTube stuff. To be honest with you, but and then I can catch up on all my YouTube stuff. But the lockdown needs to start just when I'm supposed to go back to uni. So anyway, it's funny. The last time I said to somebody, oh, I'm just so busy. I need another lockdown for a rest. We went into lockdown. But it can't happen until the 2nd of August. We can't lock down for another couple of weeks yet. I need it for when uni goes back. Is Harrison in bed? He may have done it. Yeah, he went. Yeah, I come on usually before he's asleep. Yeah, I have seen that the Pride Flag story has been brought up again. And I've also seen that the story has slightly changed from the last time I heard it. I'm studying music, Marmaduke. I'm about to start my last semester of music. My final semester. So in about 10 weeks, I will have the bare bones of my record. Well, I have to have my major project handed in. So my album has to be at a stage where, so then from August to October, it will be putting the final touches onto the album I'm releasing in October. So Frozen? What, me? Yeah, probably. So yeah, but anyway, I just am not keeping up with all the streams at the moment. Which is why I'm not really catching. That's why I don't really have all the. I'm not up to date with KJ stuff, and I've really just been focusing on Well, I teach music. I can teach music. If I want to teach in school, I then have to go do a teaching degree. I have to do a teaching qualification. I need another round of bonuses. Get me a PC for the computer. In a few seconds, I've heard you sing. You sound good. Thank you, Cheap Brass. If you look in the playlists, you'll see that there is some music folders. You'll see one that says Major Project, and that's where I've put in a lot of my my music. A lot of it is in draft. A lot of it is rehearsals. May not be the best, but you get an idea of what's going on. So this time with words. No, not going to be like that at all. So I've got another big day tomorrow. In fact, I'm gonna by the time Sunday comes, I will have done 7 days in a row, and I've not done 7 days in a row of anything for over 12 months. But who knows what can happen? It depends on what's going to happen with these cases from New South Wales. No, I haven't seen the new album. McLeod's Daughters reboot. I have no idea about I haven't heard about the McLeod's Daughters reboot. They talk about a lot of stuff, but I haven't heard about that. I'm not really a TV watcher, so I know the show, but I don't know about that. I'll need to find out for you. It wasn't he. It wasn't his. Wasn't well. I don't think he's been arrested. His producer got arrested, and for stalking apparently. Now there's an article here. Oh no. Yeah, it was his producer, yeah. Well, apparently, according to IMDb, it's due for 2022. There is supposed to be a warrant for Jordan's arrest, but I haven't. There's been nothing to say that that's been followed through. Interestingly enough. So, yeah, they're saying 2022. So on that note, I'm going to thank you all for watching. So I posted today about the fact that we had something like 700 subscribers in the last month. That just blew my mind away. So thank you to everybody that has been part of that journey. 707 subscribers, 93.1 thousand views, and 897.9 thousand minutes watched. So thank you to every single one of you for your contribution to the channel. It's amazing. This has been great. Katie, no, FJ does not have a warrant. It's a civil procedure for defamation. A Katie defector here. Yeah, look, I was a Katie defector too, so So thank you all for making this channel what it is. Amazing. It's why even when I don't feel the best, I'll just come on and have a chat. Even if I've got nothing to talk about, we still find stuff to talk about. So thank you. I know we don't always agree on everything, but as I said, I wanted to make a safe place that we could all bring our different opinions and so thank you very much, and I will catch you tomorrow night. So I'll catch you soon. See you soon.